back with Thompson to Clark, and I think we'll be able to get more on a normal schedule starting next week. My Monday nights are going to be free again, but maybe we'll choose to keep switching it up during the week. No biggie if we do. But we're back here on a Wednesday, early evening, after the Giants gave away another game and the series to the Astros. The other game, what was it? Monday night. That one was rough, but it was like, okay, we get into the extras and it's not going to be great because they don't have a good bullpen. So that's kind of to be expected. If you're only going to score 3 runs, okay, I get it. Probably a tough game to win, especially in extras. And then yesterday, they got a good performance out of the Wiz. The bullpen held strong, and they win a fairly easy one. And so we have the third game of the series, and the Giants start out pretty good. They score a run in the very first inning. They actually get runners on first and second and no outs in the second, I believe. Cannot score. And then we go all the way into the 7th, and the kind of what you expect to happen with this team happens. They just cannot play a full game of clean baseball. And I know you were out. You were doing like some PT or something. So you heard a lot of this on the radio broadcast and not on the TV. So I was texting you and you were like, Dave Fleming is going crazy right now.
Yeah, he was not having a good time with the way the defense was going and everything else. But then, after the game, we learned that Willie's hurt. And I think we kind of knew that. I mean, we've known for a while that he's had some back issues, lower back issues and all that. But I mean, man, today watching the highlights or lowlights, of some of his throws, I was like, holy moly. Yeah, that's bad.
And so what happens is I think it was it who opened the inning with like a rocket off of I think it was it Alvarez? I think it was Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah, I think so.
He hits a rocket off of the bricks out in right field. I thought the ball was out, but Jung-Hoo plays it perfectly, holds him to a single. And then they get a double play ball. And this is where you're talking about where Adames has trouble with it. His toss to second was like, it was like if you were to toss a horseshoe, you know how there's some weight in a horseshoe, you can't like toss it quickly. It's like he tossed the ball as if the ball was like 10 pounds. And so it couldn't get to the second baseman that quickly. They don't turn the double play. So that should have been 2 outs. And instead it's 1 out with a runner on. It's a fly ball to Bericoto out in left field. He camps under it. There's a little bit of a sun problem, but he's got it all figured out. He's got the sun figured out, camps right under the ball. And instead of watching the ball into the glove, I think he was like thinking the runner was going to tag up at first. And so he kind of took his eye off and just drops the baseball. So then, all it took was a sacrifice fly and they scored the run in that inning. So, if you're a Hankis who comes into the game after a really strong Hauser start and you just get no support defensively, and that's just kind of like the story of the season. And you can't even really blame this game on the relievers. It's like they can't make a mistake. They strike everybody out or else they can't get the 3 outs. And then I think Keaton Wynn gave up a triple in the 8th and then they scored. So it was it. But, it's just one of those games where if you were like, I want to show you, you know nothing about baseball. I want to show you the Giants season. Show them that 7th inning. Like that's the recipe of the whole season is like, you can't have too many clean innings in a row because the team just is like, nope, we got to throw a couple away. We got to drop a couple. And, it's frustrating to the point of where you're like, oh no, not again. But at the same time, you're just not surprised, right? You're like, oh yeah. We've seen this so many times this year.
Well, and I guess my question is because we don't have a pulse necessarily on AAA, AA, single A, all of that. We're not watching every single one of those games every night. We're just hearing things that, and mostly it's about these guys at the plate. Is this a regular thing? Is Bericoto dropping fly balls in left field in AAA every other game. I mean, and we know obviously the Willie Adames injury, but we've seen other kind of weird things like when Leonard was up and DFA, same thing in left field, just overrunning baseballs in left field. And I mean, are these things that are known about in AAA? And then when they come up and like, we'll fix that or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it really makes trading Elliot Ramos hurt that much more when you're running guys out there to left field to see what they can do. And, granted, Elliot Ramos was not a Gold Glove left fielder, but he was making plays and he was way better than he was last year. Last year was, just an awful left fielder. This year he was a serviceable, good left fielder. And now we don't have that anymore. And we knew it. We said, when the trade deadline comes and goes, this team is going to be really hard to watch some games. Some games have turned into almost every game. I mean, it's getting, last night was a nice win. Game 2 of the series, and then you bookend it with 2 just really ugly losses. And it's going to continue to happen, but you still have to give these guys a shot. You've got to work with them, and you've got the coaching staff to do it. That this is a Major League Baseball coaching staff. Get out there and help these guys become fielders and help them become better hitters. Because again, with the way the farm system is going right now, you've got a lot of guys that you can trade, that you can move, that you can do different things with to bring in, big time major league hitters into the ballpark. And so this is your chance to say, look, I can be a serviceable left fielder. I can field, I can hit, all of that. So this is audition time right now.
And you are not over exaggerating how poorly Hackman Eddie's Leonard was playing baseballs in left field. It was like, when you were in Little League and you're like, okay, anything hit at an outfielder that has any sort of velocity on it, like they're just not going to be able to read it. So it may just go over their head completely. So it's like they take a step in, and that step in means the ball's like way over their head. I was like, man, Eddie's Leonard is playing like Little League outfield out there. It was like,
well, no, you had a better line. What did you say yesterday?
I don't remember. He's not right or left-handed. He just doesn't have a dominant hand.
He's no-handed. I like that line. That sums it up. When you said that, he's one of those guys who doesn't look like he's left-handed, doesn't look like he's right-handed. It looks like he's no-handed. That's about right. Yeah, some of those plays, I was like, oh my God, what are we doing?
If Willie Adames is hurt, we saw Buddy Kennedy go to shortstop today. I think after he came out of the game. Is that what happened, or did Koss move over? I think Koss moved over actually, and then
I believe so. Yeah,
Kennedy went to the corner. If Adames is out, like, not that he's having a terrific season, but at least he's your everyday guy there. That's just another. I think the Giants. Like, I don't think that they're on their way to losing 100 games, but if the bottom has not fallen out completely yet, they could like lose 100 games. It's like not out of the question.
They're over 20 games under at this point, right? I mean, I haven't looked lately at the standings. I used to wake up every morning and look at the standings, the last few years. I don't do that right now because I don't need to. So 21 games under 500 as of right now. So
man, it's not great.
When was the last time we were 20 games under 500? 2019, right? Maybe. I think it was around 2019. Yeah.
Whatever the worst team in recent memory is, because there was a team that was close to 100 losses in the last 10 years. Whatever that was, it's that and the 1985 team that are the worst teams in the last 40 years or so. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So
2019 finished 20 games under 500. 2018 finished 22 games under 500. And then 75, All right. So those were the two ugly ones. So there you go.
And where are the Rockies? The Rockies are only 2 games below us. So
they are.
That's who comes in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Well, the Angels are 46 and 74. So they're 3.5 games worse than us. Athletics, the good old Athletics, 47 and 74. That's 3 full games. Angels are 3.5. And that's pretty.
The
much
Royals
it.
have 72 losses. Wow, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
that.
That's nuts. I was wrong. I forgot about the 2017 Giants. Let's not forget about the 2017 Giants. 67 and 95.
Wow.
That was I do remember that. That was a year after going 90 and 72.
I know.
90 wins and then 95 losses the next year. That was a hell of a drop off.
Giants are also 3 games under 500 at home. Not great. Not great.
Yeah.
You
got to be a good 10 games over 500 at home. You've got to be. If you want to be a decent enough team, you've got to be 10 games over 500 at home. You just have to. But
yeah. And the Giants, like I said, the Rockies coming to town. So, I mean, if you're gonna win a 2 out of 3 series, because they haven't had a sweep yet this year. Nope. I think the teams are probably a little too close to where we can say, they have a good chance. Like at least got to take 2 out of 3 at home, and then they go into Cleveland next week, and then we hope we get to see Marcelo Meyer, because the Giants go into Boston to play the Red Sox. So it'll be a nice homecoming for Marcelo and Devers.
There you go.
That's
that's
not that the Guardians themselves are like this fantastic team. They're struggling. They're 4 games under 500, but the Red Sox they're fighting for that playoff spot. So I think they're what are they? Are they the third playoff right now? Second or third? I think they're the second, actually.
I believe so, and they're on that just absolute historic tear right now too. So that's that's going to be fun. You're going to go into Boston. They're going to boo the hell out of Devers, and they're riding a super high right now. And we're going to have to face Eric Miller a couple times too.
What's actually crazy about the Red Sox? 29 and 31 at home, 35 and 24 on the road.
Wow,
that's interesting. I wonder what that actually means.
Yeah. It means baseball is a long, weird season. That's exactly what it means.
All right, so let's look at some of the transactions that have happened in the past week or so. So we got to see Trent Harris come up from Sacramento. Zach Morgan, we hardly knew you.
Yeah.
When Susac went down, he fractured his kneecap. Did he foul a ball? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, he fouled a ball off of his kneecap and started limping around. I mean, it looked like he was shot, the way he reacted afterwards. And Kruk and Kai thought he hit it off of his foot. And I thought, oh no, that's like a broken toe. I mean, he was in excruciating pain. He actually went down to the ground. And then when he got up, he limped off a little bit, and then he tried running a little bit, and he went ahead and finished the at bat. It was an ugly at bat. He struck out swinging at pitches out of the zone, but at that point, he was probably in a tremendous amount of pain. And I think he came out and caught the next inning, and then after that was it. So,
I have also fractured my patella in a batter's box before.
Oh, geez.
But in my case, it just kept moving. Like, I planted my back knee to swing, and as I was going through my follow-through on my swing, or actually I was going through the swing's going through the strike zone, I actually made contact with the ball and dumped it into right field, and then my kneecap just started moving.
Ooh,
and
God.
that was not fantastic. But
I imagine you didn't make it to first base.
Oh no, if I would have made it to first base, we win the game. But
geez,
I couldn't. They threw me out at first, and we lost.
Oh no,
I think it was like, we were making a comeback. I think bags were juiced. We're playing at the old San Jose State practice field.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a nice practice field.
Yeah, that's a good field.
And guys coming in, like, throwing smoke, and I'm just, like, fighting. I'm fighting off sliders and fastballs, and he throws a slider, and I dump it into right, and we only need 2 to win, and guys barreling around third, ready to score, and he's sliding into me, and I'm on the floor at home because I can't get up and run to first base.
Oh, man. Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, that's tough.
Jeez.
So, yeah, that's rough for Susac, and, Susac has had I would say, a pretty decent season.
Yeah.
And for Giants fans probably thinking like, yeah, compared to Patrick Bailey, anybody's having a decent season, but still, like, you're replacing a Gold Glove catcher, and you're formidable behind the plate, and you're actually hitting the baseball a little bit. So it was a good season and good story for him, and I imagine he comes into camp next year, ready to fight for a spot unless the Giants trade for somebody. But he's pretty decent season for him. So Zach Morgan gets called up by the River Cats, and I guess he would have dressed. He would have made it for the one game, like mid-game, right? Like he made it, but it was after the game had started, and then they signed our old friend the Andrew Knizner, or Knizler. Is it Knizler or Nizler?
I've heard it. I've heard it said.
There's no L.
Multiple.
I'm giving him an L. Nizler.
I think I've heard the silent K. I think I've heard Knizner. Yeah.
Knizner. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I know.
The KN. So you have the silent K and then the ZN in the same name. That's a tough one. So Morgan has got to go back, and I think he got a 1-day paycheck in the bigs at least.
Yep.
And
half a day.
Knizner is back with the team. Who did he get? He got dropped from somebody. Somebody dropped him.
He was, I want to say, Atlanta. No, Texas. He was in. Nope, he was not. Nope, sorry, I don't know where he was.
Is it the A's or something?
No, I'll find out. I'm going to look at his minor league numbers here because he wasn't in the bigs anywhere this year.
He wasn't at all.
No, he was in Colorado system and then Boston system.
The Worcester Red Sox released him.
Yes. I like looking at you ever look at the age difference of players on Baseball Reference? He's a AAA catcher, so his age difference between him and other players in AAA is in Boston was 5 years. So he's 5 years older than most players, I believe, in AAA. I guess they go by like an average, but
it's like a everyday Crash Davis.
Yeah, 31-year-old over the hill.
So then who else came up? So Bericoto, we mentioned Bericoto. He's back with the club. He was activated yesterday off the 10-day. Eddie's Leonard Hackman went down. Paguro went down as well for a rehab assignment to Sacramento. And that's about it for the transactions. So I think Giants fans were really just waiting for Marcelo Meyer. I think the idea is he's coming up at some point, but he's got to do his rehab assignment, and they expect him to be back on the road trip. I don't know if it's Cleveland or Boston, but I know that they got to want him for that Boston series. He's got to want that too.
Yeah. I would think so. If he's got to do a rehab assignment, he better get to it because when is Boston? Thursday of next week, a week from Thursday, somewhere in there. So yeah, that's he could probably do it.
All right. Let's look at, you sent me a list, and this is from the Around the Foghorn website, the Giants blog. And let me open it here. They're talking about how the players who the Giants traded at the deadline are faring. So this was written yesterday. So if anything happened today, we don't have that. But it was kind of fun to look at because based on how they have performed so far, the two guys who performed the best won Tyler Mahle and Eric Miller.
Yeah.
Two pitchers. Miller in the Red Sox bullpen has had 3 appearances, has not given up a run. But Mahle in his first start with the Braves against the Yankees, 6 scoreless and struck out 9. So those are the guys that have performed the best. And, I think everybody was kind of like wondering about Arise because he was an all-star. And he started out fairly well, but he's gone over in a few games here. So I saw something where Phillies fans were like, this is the longest hitless at-bat streak that Arise has been in all year. Of course, it's with us because we're cursed. I saw that going around.
But you know what? Philly fans don't understand that he could easily go 4 for 5 in 3 games in a row. So they'll see something. They'll see something soon.
Yeah, for sure. And then Caleb Killian, who I think we saw the first day he got in the game, he just poured gasoline on a fire. 5 earned runs in 3 1/3 before going on the IL with an oblique, and it sounds like he's going to be out for a while. Rough
now,
for Killian.
When you see that, you got to wonder, was it that he was like, after he got traded, did he lift up a suitcase, like a heavy suitcase, and like yanked his oblique or something? I mean, you go to another team and boom, you've got an oblique injury. So, you always wonder, did it happen on the transfer over, on a flight, on something? Did he turn wrong? You never know. I don't know. Kind of crazy.
And then we got good old Robbie Ray in his first start in San Diego. 5 innings, gave up 4 earnies, 5 walks, 7 hits. So not a great start. And also they traded for Casey Mize, who also had a pretty bad first start. And then Elliot Ramos, he struggled at the plate. I think sometimes because of his persona, and he's always like very positive, smiling, kind of happy, even when he's not performing well, some fans don't like that very much. And I know they mentioned in the piece that he had the wardrobe malfunction. He misbuttoned his jersey, so he's showing some belly button in the game.
That's good stuff. I like that. I like that. That's, been reported on. That's my favorite part. Like,
well, and the one thing that you mentioned, and you've mentioned this about some of our guys, in that, you play in San Francisco and the media is pretty fair. You go to some of these other markets like New York, they do not care about your feelings, my friend. So
not at all.
For Elliot's sake, and because we like him as a player, hope that he starts playing better so that he doesn't really become, one of the punching bags over there, because they're always looking for someone to blame for a season. So
yeah. Well, yeah, and you mentioned West Coast media too. I mean, if this was the East Coast, if Tarek Skubal was traded to the Yankees or the Mets, and he went there and in 2 starts had a 4.09 ERA and in 11 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, they'd be destroying him right now. But because it's happening in LA, they're like, he'll be fine. Which he probably will be, and in the playoffs, he'll be, even more fine, I'm sure, but still.
So let's go back to Meyer for a sec, because he is the one guy who we're actually going to get to see play this year, who came over in the trade. With the craziness going on with the team right now. And look, if Adames is out for any amount of time, maybe Meyer plays shortstop. He plays all the infield positions. And I think I've read that he's probably more of a second baseman and a third baseman than he is a shortstop. But, there's opportunity there. There's opportunity. Well, I mean, what I could see happening is you have Basabe at second, Meyer at third and you move Cost to short. You could see that as a possibility if Adames is hurt. But I would like for them to make for the softest landing for him, Like, he's been through so much as a big leaguer as far as expectations and injuries and frustration with the fan base and all this. Let's soften the landing for this dude so that he can come in and hopefully produce and hopefully show some signs of positivity that he could build onto for next year when they are going to need him, because I think they're going to be depending on him to be to be a regular, maybe not an everyday player at a specific position, but because of the offensive and infield flexibility, along with Casey Schmidt, you got two guys that you can just plug and play, and you should be able to find 450 to 500 ABs for both of them if they're hitting, and just figure out how to fit them on the team and defensively. So I'm interested in what their plan is for him. I would imagine they want to bring him in a little bit more slowly than probably fans want to see, because I think fans just, gosh, show us, let's play this guy every day for the rest of the season. He is coming off of an injury, so you do got to be careful. But what do you think? What do you want to see from Marcelo Mayer this year, or Meyer?
I mean, in all honesty, you could plug in anybody at shortstop right now, and you're not going to get a drop off in terms of defensive production. So I wouldn't mind seeing him at shortstop. I wouldn't mind seeing him anywhere he needs to be on the infield. Second base would be good. But you still want to get Basabe his at bats, but I think you can move him around. I think you can kind of plug him in almost anywhere. Look, second base is open, third base is open, and shortstop could possibly be open, because you could see Adames on the IL if the back problem is even worse. I don't have a preference. I would like to see him just at the plate get some consistent at bats. I think wherever is most, like you said, least distracting for him on the infield would be great. If you plug him in at third and then put Koss at short, I mean, again, you're not going to get a huge drop off in terms of defense right now at shortstop from Willie. So I think I'd like to see him probably play shortstop and stick there for maybe the rest of the season. And then you go into the off season and you figure out what are you going to do now? Where's Casey Schmidt going to go? Chapman will be healthy again. Adames will be healthy again. And now you have less spots for him. Is he your second baseman? And then Schmidt is now a DH/third baseman. I mean, that's for the off season, but right now I think I'd like to see him plug in at shortstop and take some games from Willie and let him rest a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be nice, because if this is more of a thing that Willie has just been battling all year long, he doesn't need to be battling it anymore. Like, let's put him on the IL, let him relax, let him deal with, getting healthy for next year, because, the thing about the back is, if he's been dealing with a back injury, he's got a violent swing, and I have not seen a change in how hard his swing is. So it's kind of interesting in how he's dealing with it, if it has been an issue, because the man swings the bat hard.
Yeah.
But, for him to be struggling on defense was kind of interesting. All right, let's end this show with discussion about the Baseball America list that just came out, where they ranked all the farm systems, and the Giants ranked number 4. They made up 10 spots from the beginning of the season and 6 more spots from the middle of the season on this list, meaning the trade deadline jumped them up 6 spots, and some other teams traded some of their prospects, so they probably jump backwards there. But Giants at number 4. When's the last time the Giants were this high on a list like this?
I honestly don't know. I don't remember them being in the top 5 ever. We haven't been. I don't know how long I've been following the farm system rankings, probably the last 10 years, but I know in the last 10 years, it was not this high. It's possible in 2008, 9, 10. It's possible that it could have been that high. It'd be fun to go back and look to see if we can find those. But the fact that they jumped the Dodgers is kind of awesome. Dodgers are what, 6th right now, and the Giants have popped up. But then again, when you look at how many top 100 players these teams have, the Giants have 5 and the Dodgers still have 7 in the top 100. So, a little bit weighted on the top end for the Dodgers, and the Giants kind of seem to have like really good performances from all of their farm system guys this season, all the way down to like rookie ball. So I think that helps the Giants rankings quite a bit, is that everybody in the minor leagues is having really good high load seasons, and that's going to help your rankings quite a bit. It's really exciting to see, because I've always been a proponent of build a farm system, use those guys to trade for major league talent that have like 3 or 4 years of control left, because free agency in San Francisco has not just not been lucky for us the last 5 or 6 years. So maybe even longer than that. So to be able to have those chips, I think is really nice, especially near the trade deadline. To get a guy, and we used to say to get a guy like Paul Skeens, but I don't know what's happening to Skeens this year. He's having a rough season. So to get a pitcher, because although the Giants are really developing pitching right now, they've drafted a lot of pitching, they've traded for a lot of pitching. So to be able to go out and get, like we were talking about, that left field right-handed bat that just crushes the ball, that a guy who's like, I don't want to go play in Oracle, so I'm not going to sign there for 7 years. But if you could trade for him and have him for 3 or 4 years, I think that's great. So having a farm system like that is very exciting for Giants fans.
By the way, did you hear what happened to the Dodgers owner who also owned the Lakers?
I saw something about he was under an investigation.
So he's under an investigation. And just this morning, so he bought the Lakers last year.
Right.
And he just sold them again today.
I did see the sale go through to a Kushner, right?
To Josh Kushner, I believe.
One
and
of the Kushners.
Bob Iger, I guess, is going to run the team.
Wow.
The old CEO of Disney.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. And just the timing of it all, because of the investigation that we started hearing about. And he only had the Lakers for less than a year, actually, maybe. So it's kind of weird. Something strange is going on over there. And I was talking to some LA fans, and they were saying that he specifically is not in favor because I guess he had some equity, or he had something in some ICE detention centers that he may have. He may not have any equity in those anymore, but there was something there. And of course, LA, big, there was some heat on the Dodgers, like having some sort of ICE. They did something in their parking lot where they were like helping ICE or something last year.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
And but I think they're trying to clean that up. But yeah, he was attached to that in some way in his past. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting stuff going on over there.
Is that Mark Walter? Is that who we're talking about? Okay. Yeah. Because he also appointed Farhan to help out,
right,
with the Lakers too.
Right.
So that's some good some ties back to us. I mean, that's there's going to be a lot of things in the next few years of people who've had money tied to different political parties that have been doing some weird stuff. Hopefully there's going to be more. Let's say that. Hopefully there's going to be more busts and crackdowns, but we'll see.
So just to kind of clean up and finish up the list. So the Giants had Josuar Gonzalez at number 18, Luis Hernandez at number 36, Johnny Level at 50. And the way that Johnny Level is hitting, he may be on his way further up this list by the time we see the list at the beginning of next year. Bo Davidson at 84. So those are the folks who are there. And then also Jackson Flores at 51. So,
Wow.
like you said, they got 5 guys. And then on the outside looking in, Henry Lalani, Peyton Bonds, Caden Kent, Tugboat. I wonder if we see the Tugboat. I want to see the Tugboat.
I would hope so. Is he on the 40 man? I'm gonna have to look that up because we did talk about last week how guys might be hesitant to put people on the 40 man because next year, if there is a lockout, players who are not on the 40 man can play minor league baseball. But if you are on the 40 man, you cannot play minor league baseball. So that
is interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so just from Vitello today after the game, he said he doesn't think Willie's back issue will lead to an injury list stint, but he'll likely sit on Friday to let it calm down.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm looking Tugboat. I do not believe. No, he's not on the 40 man. So that might be a tough one. That might be a tough one. And that could be the reason we're not seeing a lot of these guys. I mean, you're looking at the 40 man. Yeah, we were just talking about catchers. How about this for an all-star 40 man catcher list? We've got Susak, Jesus Rodriguez, both on the IL. You got Zach Morgan, Andrew Knizner, and Drew Kavanaugh. That's that'll make you salivate, right? Yeah, and a lot of these guys on the 40 man, I don't think they would necessarily be there in a regular season, but heading into possible lockout, you can see why some of the other guys are not there yet.
Yeah, this is going to be a sad fall/winter with the lockout stuff that is coming. I don't even know how we're going to even talk about it or cover it. Like, what are we going to talk about at that time?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're not going to talk about the negotiations because that'll bore the hell out of people. But
yeah, I mean, some of it will be interesting, but a lot of it will just be like a bunch of whiny crybabies fighting with each other.
Yeah, exactly. What we've done in the past too, when we've had issues and COVID and all that other stuff, we've taken a look at some teams from the past and some different things, and that's always kind of fun to do. I like.
Yeah, we got to think of something creative, but we don't record every week during that time frame. So once the World Series is over, we'll probably change up the schedule a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. You got any vacations coming up?
I do, but it's very short and it's not going to mess with the show, but we're leaving a week from Thursday, heading to Oracle Park to go see a concert. Not a Giants game.
No games, just
going to see a concert. Driving in on a Thursday, going to the concert on Friday, driving home Saturday. So we're going to go see Noah Khan at Oracle Park. So
are you staying in San Francisco?
Yeah, we're gonna stay. Yeah, we're gonna stay in San Francisco next to the ballpark, and then that way we could just hop in there, get some seafood, go to the concert, and I'll definitely go to the shop. We'll go to the Giants shop. I know we're boycotting a little bit, but I want to see. Maybe I buy a Pride hat.
There you go. That's the hat that I want too.
Exactly. So we're gonna look at all that, and then. And that's it. And then we've got Vegas for a couple of days. We've got New Orleans for a week. That's going to be a blast.
Dude, a week in New Orleans?
Yeah, that's going to be great. But before we do that, we're going to be I'm going to see you because that'll be the trip that we're going to be in Santa Clara for Bruno Mars.
That's
right. Where you and I will get together.
What month is that again?
That's October.
Okay,
early-ish October. We're going to go to we've decided we want to hit Monterey for a couple of days with the kids, show them the aquarium, and then on our way into Santa Clara, we'll probably swing by like Capitola or Santa Cruz, show them that, and then head over. So it'll be fun.
Sweet. Yeah. All right. That is going to be it from here. Not a whole lot to talk about for this series, but there's going to be stuff to talk about, especially if they bring up some players. We could have talked a little bit about Bryce Eldridge going through a little bit of a rough spot, but he hit a ginormous jack yesterday at the opposite field, which was nice to see.
Yeah,
but we'll save our Bryce stuff for later in the season. because he's going to be somebody that we're going to want to talk about. And if we can pair him with Meyer, and you got some other younger guys coming up, Bo Davidson, possibly Parks Harbor, maybe some of those guys actually become players, then you're talking about rooting for some young guys again, like we did when we were kids. So
yeah, for sure. Looking forward to that. Yeah.
That is it from here. So for Brad, I am Double G. We will see you when we see you. Peace out.
Peace.